All right, hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm your host, Ann Didier, here with
I'm
my
Ann Richards.
co-host. Yeah, the two Anns, we're back at it.
Ann and Ann talking additive.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we're going to get to know Markforged printers. As we discussed in our previous podcast episode, we're here at GSC, we're really focused on Markforged. That's what we are selling here. So we just want to do a deep dive into that whole world and what makes Markforged printers unique. So
there's many advantages with like Markforged. It's the reliability, the close, like the support system that they have, that we can talk to applications engineers, we can talk to support engineers, we've got field support, we've got all these different great features that Markforged offers. But the thing that I always like to emphasize to our customers, especially the ones in industry, is the continuous carbon fiber reinforcement that we offer. It's not just carbon fiber too, it's also Kevlar, fiberglass, high temperature fiberglass. The fiber reinforcement that really adds strength to the parts is like one of the big things that Markforged offers our customers. We can make our parts like strong and beefy, and it's not just with the fiber reinforcement either. Onyx itself is already like a really strong material. We had made some press brake tooling earlier this year that was like able to bend 14 gauge galvanized steel. It was like applying 2.5 tons of force at one.
Oh my gosh.
Per press and everything. It was in a machine, and I think it got over 5,000, repetitions, well over that before it started to fail, which is crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, like people.
Insanely awesome.
Exactly. People just like instinctively, like they see that it's like plastic and they think that it can't stand up to metal, but it's, constantly showing how efficient it is. I think I said this in our last thing too, but half of Markforged customers are replacing steel and aluminum with these composite solutions. So
very cool to hear, and I'm sure in your position that's like music to your ears. It's just what we want here at GSC, and it's really cool to see people actually engaging in the product and really getting into it and seeing that it is kind of a crucial part of the manufacturing process, or it can be a very crucial part.
It can be very helpful. It can make the process so much more efficient, so much easier. And
for sure. So you kind of got into the different printers and materials, so can you tell us more about the composite printers?
Yeah, sure. So the two different series that we usually talk about are the desktop, which is helmed by the Mark.2. That one is smaller build plate, but it's great. It's very reliable, fits on the desktop, and it can print the fiber reinforcement I mentioned. Very reliable. We see these in a lot of offices and stuff. And then the industrial series is helmed by the X7. That one, a little bit bigger, and it's got a bigger build plate and everything. Little bit more options, more features like laser precision and stuff. It'll level the bed for you, and there's a lot more efficiency as far as like maintenance and upkeep and stuff. The X7 is the one that I like to have the most flexibility with, especially in the on-suite program and everything. And then additionally, there is the FX20, which is sort of the big daddy, the big one, huge build plate, and able to print these high temperature materials like Ultim and Vega, able to do really advanced stuff with the materials. And then most recently, there's the FX10, which is sort of like a marriage between the X7 and the 20, where it's still able to do some advanced material stuff, but it's kind of getting more back to the root of being a composite printer that is more compact, can fit on a table and stuff, and is able to get those regular parts. So far, that's kind of the different composite printers that we offer for people. Every different business has a different solution, a different option that might be best for them. But most people, we have a solution for them. So.
So we've been talking a lot about the composite printers, and I think it's really important to get into the metal printers. So
I forgot about the metal printers.
So what is Markforged doing in the metal printing space?
So the Metal X system is great. It's 3 steps. There's the actual Metal X printer itself, then there's the wash process, and then the sintering process. You end up making these very strong production quality metal parts, safe, cost effective, and it's good for office spaces too. So it's not just like on these big manufacturing floors. Like we put these in universities and they're in offices. They're in our office here, and we don't exactly have like a ton of floor space. So it's really great for that. You can print in stainless steel, tool steel. There's copper, there's Inconel, and a bunch more. It's like a very versatile system for that. And then just again, being able to do strong, end use metal parts over the weekend is just kind of a crazy revelation for a lot of people.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of laughing as we're sitting here because I'm looking at this metal golf ball.
Yeah.
Which, clearly we're not going to be, it's not a good application, but it's just kind of cool. Like,
yes,
this little knickknack here. And
yeah, we have like a very practical thing. We have
possible.
like a copper heat sink, very practical, and got a knife. We've got a cutting. We have like very practical applications. And then we have like the fun ones too. Yeah. It was a good choice for the set.
Very
yeah,
cool. I know, it's just kind of a fun
excellent set design.
Yep. Yeah. So moving on from the printing side of things, what role does software play in Markforged products?
Yeah, so Eiger is Markforged's like enterprise software, cloud-based, integrates with the printer seamlessly. It's great for like fleet management stuff. Honestly, there's no feeling like, you get home and you're like, oh, I forgot to set up the print. And then you can go to your own, computer at home and start a print from, all the way across town. I started a print from all the way across the country last time I was on a trip.
Wow.
I felt so powerful.
Yeah.
And it's like great for, it's super flexible. There's a lot you can do with it. The way you can set up, like we talked about the carbon placement before, the way you can set up that in patterns, the way you can do like the tool pathing if you need like something very specific, the way that you can run, tests on it to make sure your parts are strong enough. Eiger is like such a great software, and it's very user-friendly too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who have never used a slicer software who can get into it no problem. There's people who are getting into it with like a ton of experience who are finding features for them to love too. The Eiger software is a huge boon. It's one of the biggest things I love about Markforged.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And when you said you ran a print across the country, I was just thinking like for our world today, there's a lot of remote workers, and I'm sure that's a huge benefit to people in that space as well, or even if you're working hybrid. So it's really for everyone and seems very accessible. So that's really awesome.
And if you're someone like me who needs to like hover over their prints as they're going at all time, a lot of our printers have a monitor. Exactly. A lot of them have a camera in it, so I can like watch a print happening, or I can monitor what layer it's on.
Yeah.
Once I was starting a print, and I like looked through the camera and I saw my boss like working on the printer next to it. And so I called him up and I'm like, hey, what are you doing to that printer? Because I saw him on the camera on another printer.
Oh my gosh.
So I was just cool that I'm like, wow, I can do that on Eiger. So I can like look through the camera and see somebody like working on another print. It was great.
That's so cool. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for this episode. And we will dive back into more things 3D printing next time. So if you guys have any suggestions on what you want us to talk about, just comment down below.
Love to hear it.
Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, Anne.
Bye.
Bye.